Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm going to try something new on my channel, so I'm going to do it today and then see what you think of it, and if it goes well I'll maybe make it a weekly thing. I'm going to call it Internet Inspiration. So just to give you a bit of context and background, my first full-time job when I was around 17 was working for the local county council in the computer punch room. There were around 30 of us. I sat at a desk with a keyboard a bit like this one and a VDU a bit like that one, and my job was producing punch cards like these, and this was how data and programs were fed into the mainframe. My first husband worked in computers all of his adult life, and when he first started in the early 70s, a computer would have taken up a whole room, much like the layout that you see here. Can you imagine all of that fits onto my desk now? Here's a picture of people loading an IBM hard drive. That's only 5 megabytes. We carry more than that in our back pockets on our mobile phones now, don't we? Incredible. I find it interesting that my grandpa, who was a GPO engineer, built their own TV, and they were the first in the street to have one. And then all those years later, my husband built our first home PC, and now my son has helped me build the one that I've got now. So because of all this background, we were probably amongst the earliest people to have a computer at home, and probably late 70s, very early 80s we had a computer at home. And then of course the World Wide Web happened in the early 90s, and I'm really proud of the fact that it was a British guy who invented it, who wrote the code for that, and wanted it to be freely available to everybody. He didn't want to make a profit out of it, which I think is brilliant. And I've been a huge fan of the web, the internet as we know it now, right from the start. And of course I don't think any of us realised then how huge a part computers and the internet would play in all of our lives. It's become an integral part of our lives, whether we like it or not. But I love it. And for me, the best thing has been able to connect with like-minded people that I would otherwise never meet, to be able to share ideas, to inspire others and be inspired. I think that's one of the best things about it for me, and that's why I love doing these YouTube tutorials and connecting with other like-minded people through this. So one of the things I love to do, and I think we all do, whether it's Pinterest or blogs or Facebook or whatever your, Instagram, YouTube, whatever your preferred platforms, is when I'm not creating something myself, I'm looking for ideas and researching things, and finding out how to do things. If ever there's something new that I want to try, the first thing I think is I'll go on YouTube. Somebody else would have done it before, and I can learn from their experience and knowledge. So what I want to do with this new idea that I'm going to try today is I needed to bring it in a bit because I thought the scope was too big otherwise. So I'm going to pick one particular idea or theme or whatever, and type it into YouTube and stuff and see what comes up. This time I've picked a felting. So a felting, something that I've done quite a bit of. I say quite a bit of. Back along, I went and did a class. I've made a couple of Christmas gnomes. I've done odd little bits and pieces, but I'm by no means an expert. But I do have all the kit. It's a classic case of all the gear, no idea. I've got this box of stuff here, which I'll show you later when I get down to that point. And I've got a kit. I think somebody bought me this as a gift actually, and it looks lovely. It's like just kind of thing I would actually wear as well. It's got everything you need in it, so I might try that out as well. So what I've done is I've put a playlist together. I'll put a link to that. But you can just go to, if you go to my channel, the playlists are all there. So this one's just called Felting, for obvious reasons. And I'm just going to flick through a few of them now. I've put about 20 on there. I'm just going to flick through a few of them now just to show you the kind of thing that I need to remember how to do this screen recording thing. Bear with. Hopefully you'll now be able to see what I'm looking at. So here's my channel. If you click on here, you can find playlists, and this one is called Felting. So the felting playlist has appeared down here now, and that's gone straight into that first one. But what I've done is I've lined up a few here just to show you very briefly. I don't want to play other people's YouTubes on my channel. That seems like cheating somehow. So obviously this is the kind of thing you look at it and you think, wow, I wish I could do that. But you know, in another lifetime, I just thought I'll slip this in just to show you, look at what some people can do with felting. This is just, you know, 6 minutes. It's a very fast speeded through version of the process. But yeah, very impressive. But there are people who will show you how to do these things step by step, and this one I hadn't discovered this lady before. So this channel's called Fit to Be Loved, and it looks like she's done a series of step-by-step tutorials taking you right through the basics. And that's, look at that cat head shape she's creating there, and this is just getting the basic core shape. And it's a 20-minute video, so that's going to be, she obviously shows you how to do it from the drawing stage, so that looks really good. So I'm going to keep that in the playlist. But then, you know, I thought perhaps have a go at a couple of easier things first, and I thought these looked really nice and straightforward. So this is Felts by Philippa. She's brilliant. There's lots and lots of lovely projects that she does on her channel, so check it out. I thought these look really nice, and I have got some of these natural wools. I love how she's used the natural wools there to make all the different types of sheep. I think that's brilliant, and I bet those are probably reasonably straightforward to do and make nice little gifts, wouldn't they? So that's Felts by Philippa, will also be on the playlist. This is Sarafina Fibre Art, again another channel I love and well worth checking out. Lots and lots of different inspiring projects on there, but look at these little sleepy mice, and I love how they've even incorporated types of wool into their little nest as well. So cute. I made a badger once, that class I went to, but it didn't look like a cute sleeping badger, it looked like a dead badger, to be fair, the way I did it. But I won't let it put me off. That one did go in the bin, because in the end it just gave me the willies every time I looked at it. Thinking about it, what I should have done was keep that to use as core for something else, so lesson learned. Anyway, so that's Sarafina Fibre Art, again will be in the playlist. This I've included this guy. He doesn't specialise in felting, but I love him, the Craftsman. Oh, he's so unusual to listen. He's got this voice I could listen to all day. It's a slightly, you know, it's a very quite an odd kind of presentation, but I love him. I love what he does. He does a lot of kit mashups and things, and he'll buy a couple of different things at a pound shop and then put them together and make them into something else. And yeah, I love what he does. So he's made these really, I thought, very achievable looking but adorable weird little creatures out of felt, and I could definitely achieve something like this, I think. So that's, yeah, the Craftsman. This is an idea I hadn't seen before. What a great idea. And you could build it into all kinds of containers. It's to make these little landscapes. I love the idea of making a hobbit hole. Isn't that cute? Felting Fandom. So again, well worth checking that channel out if you want to try some felting. I put this in. I don't think I particularly do want to do that project, but I thought I must remember the idea of felting inside a shape like that. I mean, a cookie cutter or any other kind of outline shape you can felt into, and it will hold the shape. So yeah, I wonder actually, but I've got some gingerbread cookie cutters, so I could make some hanging ones for Christmas, couldn't I? So this is Bethany, I don't know if you say Thiel, I don't know how you pronounce that, Thiel, art teacher. So obviously that's not going to be just needle felting on that channel, but yep, I will leave this in the playlist as well, so you can go and check out the rest of her channel. I thought this was lovely, the idea of felted landscapes and then stitching into it, and I'd love to do that onto a felt background. I've got somewhere, if I can find them, I've got some plain grey felt, like a tablet case for putting your computer tablet in, which I reckon I could felt a landscape onto and then stitch into it. That could be fun, so I might try that. I might have a go at that, or for a journal cover or something. That would be fun. So that's Design Matters TV. Obviously there will be all kinds of things on there, but well worth a look for inspiration. Here's another landscape idea. I love the idea of hanging it from this kind of piece of driftwood or whatever there. It all looks like it's come out of the landscape. Well, it has. I mean, this is Lincolnshire Fen Crafts, so I think their wool comes from local sources, and this very much looks like, you know, it could be the Lincolnshire landscape. I love that. I really love that idea, and it looks quite achievable, doesn't it? You know, she says confidently. So that's the felt hub with Lincolnshire Fen Crafts. Again, I'll put all of these in the playlist. Now this one, it's not the prettiest picture that I've included there, but I thought, what, because the woolly rabbit has got all sorts of things, all sorts of amazing projects, beautiful projects, but I've chosen to show this because I just thought, what a brilliant idea. So she uses these, and I've been looking for a reason not to throw these away. You can only keep so many to use for stenciling and jelly printing and things, but she uses them to create the core for her felted pieces. I thought, what a great idea. But yes, lots and lots of amazing projects to try to have a look at on that channel as well. And this one I just put in because it's just so adorable. It's one of the cutest little creatures that I found, this one. So this is a channel called Bink Bonk, which I hadn't found before. They do all kinds of things, I believe, but yeah, this one really appealed to me. Gnomes, I think I've got 2 or 3 in the playlist about gnomes, because I really enjoyed making my Christmas gnome, and I'd like to make a bigger, more ambitious one, perhaps with an armature for this year. And I love the idea of them not just being for Christmas as well, just being home gnomes. So this is by Penfelt Studio, lots of inspiration on there again as well. This is Archie's Attic. She's lovely, this lady. She's lovely to listen to. I like the way here she's incorporated, as well as the felting, she's also incorporated other types of fabric and things, and she has stood her little gnomes on small kind of wood slices, which I've got some of to use, so I thought that would be quite a fun idea. Look, I recognise that's one of those. She keeps obviously all the same kind of things that I do. This is when you get, like, you go to somewhere a bit fancy and the cocktail sticks look like this. They put them through a sandwich or whatever, or a burger. And I keep these little things thinking, what on earth will I ever do with them? What a great way to use them. Needle Feltner teddy bear, look at that, how cute is he? Got to try this. Love the texture of the wool that's been used there as well. So this is the hobby bird. She did a wonderful I think she's Norwegian maybe, because she was talking about gnomes, and she was saying in Norway we call them, I can't remember the word now, and I think it might have been her that was saying about she wants them for all year round, not just for Christmas. But yeah, I think I've put that in the playlist as well, but I've included this one here just to show you the idea of the teddy bear. Look at this, the wishing shed. She's got some really cute things on her channel, but this was my favourite, and I have kept some little walnut shells that I wanted to do something with, and this would just be perfect. I just think those are absolutely adorable. So that's the wishing shed. Oh, and look at this one. I hadn't come across this lady before. She's obviously quite, I was going to say quite new. See, this one was published in 2020. She's got 10 subscribers. Maybe she hasn't kept her channel going. I don't know. I hope so. I only found her today, looking through today. So look at this little cat, flat out asleep. How cute is that? And she explains it all really well, so you can I think it would be quite doable. I might give this one a go. I've been wanting to make some kind of a really miniature cat to go in my little kind of 12 scale miniature scenes, because most of the 12 scale cats you can get look a bit creepy, look a bit odd, you know, the eyes are never right. So I thought I'll try and make some sleeping cats out of felt, and I think that would be really good. So I might have a go at following this one. I think he'd look good over on his tummy as well, wouldn't he? Okay, and last but not least, this is Pam Duffy. I just love to listen to her. She's got an amazing sense of humour. I noticed it'd been a while since I looked at her channel, because I haven't done felting for ages, and I noticed she's now got a whole lot of Etsy related videos on there, which are probably really useful, and I should probably look at myself, because I'm not doing very well with my Etsy shop because I'm too lazy. So there's probably some really useful stuff in amongst there, but what I watched her for was her amazing felting videos, and I just thought this idea she's had here is brilliant, and I am definitely going to try it. So what she's doing is she's got a little cheap kind of plushy teddy bear. She bought a whole bag of them, and she's felting onto it using that as the base. And I thought, what a great idea. You could also, I thought, do it onto sock creatures and stuff, just to add felted hair or other details. Yeah, there's all sorts of, yeah, so I thought, what a fantastic idea. And apparently she's going to make more of it as well. So I wonder what that is in the background. Is that an advent calendar in bags? Anyway, so let's hope that I just, I should have just checked that I'd got that set up right for to show you my screen. Otherwise I might have to go through all of that again. But hopefully you just saw all of that. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do, is just sort of round up a few videos, put them into a playlist, and then pick a couple to have a go at. In this case, I probably will also just have to have a go at this felted jewellery kit, and I'll see how it goes. And if you like that kind of thing, then I could do more of them. And if you've got any suggestions for other themes or areas of interest to look up, I'll have a go at anything arty and crafty. I will have a go at it. Pretty much. There's some things I won't. Paint pouring, it's too messy and wasteful. I couldn't bring myself to do that. So there's a few odd things like that I'm not keen on, but yeah, I'll kind of give anything else a go. And I've got supplies for an awful lot of things in here that there's a lot of things I could do without ever buying anything else. So yeah, so let me know if you've got any ideas or what you think about this idea in general. So what I'm going to do now is hand over to my future self. Not that far in the future, but and I will just show you me having a go with this kit, and I'll go through the stuff I've got in my own little felting kit, and make up at least one of those other projects that we've seen. Probably something small is the best thing to start with, so we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. I'll pass you over to my other self now. Okay, so let's have a look at what I've got here. I did manage to find these. I've actually got 3 of them. So these are meant for putting your tablet or whatever in, but I wonder if they'd also be quite nice for putting art journals in. So they're just like a plain grey felt kind of protective pouch. Quite like the idea of that, to put like a sketchbook and some pencils in, that kind of thing. Yeah, they're really nice. I got them, I don't know, they were a real bargain online somewhere in like every Crafts £1 or something like that, and I grabbed 3 thinking I better do something with them. So yeah, I might have a go at felting a scene or something onto them at some point. Oh, I had to hunt high and low for pipe cleaners, and these are the only ones I could find. So I've decided I'm going to do the little teeny weeny mouse in a nutshell, except I'm not going to be doing it in a nutshell. So it's the Wishing Shed. I'll link her below, and all of the others will be in the playlist anyway. She puts her teeny mice in nutshells, and I thought she was using real nutshells, and I thought I'll use my walnut shells, but I can't find them. But actually she shows how to make the nutshells out of polymer clay. It's really good. So but I'm not going to do that. I've decided I'm going to build my little mouse into, I keep all these bottle tops and things because they're handy for doing miniatures and stuff, and I thought it'd be quite cute to have a little mouse coming out of kind of everyday household objects. I also found this little thimble, which it was in a kind of vintage work box that I bought. I don't tend to use thimbles, but I just thought it was so cute, so of course I kept it. I think it's made of brass. It sort of smells like brass, if you know what I mean. It's a bit dented and stuff, but I think that'd be quite cute with a tiny mouse in. If I can make it stand up, I might have to make a little stand for it as well. So I've got those. I came across this before I managed to find these pipe cleaners at last, and I thought this would be really good for armature wire. I got this in the pound shop. It's kind of a soft coated, it's made so it doesn't damage plants. I think it'd be really nice for armatures, and quite a cheap way of doing it as well. So I'm going to keep that handy. This is my little felting kit. So I just got it in an old shoebox with felting stuck on it. And this is some of the things that I've bought. So this is a mixture of kits, the needles that I got given in that class I went to, that sort of thing. So these kind of, when you buy the needles, they tend to cut in these bits of foam just to keep them safe in the post. Sorry about the next door's dog is off again. And you can actually felt into these, but it's not the best, but it will work if you've got nothing else. I've got a couple of these little leather finger and thumb stools, which are quite good for protecting your fingers while you're stabbing. I've got this is a clover make one. They're quite expensive, those clover products. But I have amassed this stuff kind of over the years as gifts and things. So yeah, if you set out to buy it all at once, it'd be quite an expensive business, I think. So this is what, you put your felted piece on here to work into. It is really good. And then this one I actually bought myself. So the lady that did the class I went to made these herself. So she's stamped on the fabric and then filled it with, feels like rice or something in there. So you can use that to stab into instead. You've got either the single needles like this, or you can have lots of needles in one tool like this. I can't work out how to use it now, so you have to unlock it. It's a good idea actually. And then when you stab, basically it stabs all 5 needles at the same time. So it's a lot quicker for doing big areas. But if you want to do a little small detailed area, you're better off just using a single needle. Right, okay, so locked. So now, yeah, I can't accidentally prompt myself. It's a good design feature, isn't it? I think the rest of what's in here is just various wools. I've got some interesting sort of natural looking ones like that. I think somewhere I've got some really natural looking sheets for it. So there's little bits of like natural wool there. I think what I used to make my gnome with that isn't here. I don't know. Oh, I did actually make this one. So my gnomes that I made are out in the garage in the Christmas box, so I couldn't be bothered getting them out. But here's a little cactus I made from this little cheapy kit from Hobbycraft, which is pretty good. That's probably where some of those needles came from, I expect. I also made this robin from a cheap kit, and I ended up with a Trump hairdo at one point. I should finish him off and tidy him up, give him some legs and things really. He was one of those that you make around a polystyrene base, which I think is a bit cheating and I don't really enjoy it so much. And then I've got, oh look, there's a loose needle in there. Yeah, so this kind of polystyrene things, like these probably came out of kits, so they're just polystyrene eggs and you can use them as the base for all sorts of creatures and things. So let's put that one in there so I don't stab myself again. So yeah, there's a mixture here then of different sort of larger pieces and then some smaller little bits of more colourful ones. I think I bought more of the like things that could be kind of, you know, skin tones and beards and things like that, and more sort of natural fur colours. I bought more of them and then less of the bright colours and things. So I've got a good old selection there to choose from without needing to buy anything to give this a real go. I've certainly got enough to make that teeny weeny mouse. I'm not going to sit here and do them because really I'm just going to follow that tutorial, so I'll leave a link to the tutorial I'm following. I might do a couple of process photos and slot in, and then I'll come back and show you the finished piece, because there's no point in me kind of replicating the tutorial from someone else's channel. And then this one, I just think felting would be such a great way to make you know, little bits and bobs of my 12 scale miniature work, and little accessories for dolls and things, or, you know, hats and things like that. Yeah. So this, yeah, this is this kit that I think either it was bought for me as a gift or I bought it for myself as a gift, but I love it either way. So it includes brooch and necklace findings. So you've got these big beads, you've got these colourful sort of stitched ones. I like the watermelon looking one. I guess these are bangles, are they? I hope you're going to find some instructions. Not a lot in the way of instruction, is there? So this is the sponge which will be in there for you to felt into, but I'm not going to use that. I'm more fun for myself and I'll use the clover brush one, I think. Oh look, you get a tool as well, look. So this is a triple one. So I've got single needles like that, my multiple one which is 5 needles, and then this single one. So that's good. Not single one, triple one. Triple, 5s, singles. Right. They probably can put these in as replacement needles as well. And they're the brooch backs. You just get 2 brooch backs in there. Get rid of that hideous bit of plastic. I might use it as a paint palette before I chuck it. Hey, now why did we really need to have plastic in there? We didn't. It could have just all been in here, couldn't it? It could have been a cardboard divider if need be. I love needle felting, so presumably this is meant to be Kirsty Allsop talking to me directly. It's simple to turn colourful soft wool roving into beautiful beads, brooches and accessories. Disappointing instructions. You know, I didn't need that extra plastic shell inside that I've now got to throw away, but I could have done with slightly more exciting instructions, perhaps with 1 or 2 diagrams, or perhaps rather than just, you know, telling me to make a paper template, they could have just had one that you could use, you could cut out and use. Okay, well, I'm going to put that box to one side because it's fairly pointless. So I'm going to do a speed through version of this now. I'll probably have to cut bits of it out. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. And as for the little mouse, I'll just come back and show you how he turns out. As I say, I might do a couple of little process photos, but all of the instructions are in that tutorial that I will link below anyway. Okay, I can make something lovely. I'm sure it'll be fine. She said just take less than you think you're going to need. Okay. Wrap it around itself to make a ball. And then wrap some more in the opposite direction. Just tack it together with a couple of pokes to tack it together first. So I'm really only going, I'm not like filling, now I've like tacked it together, I'm not going in too far, I'm just kind of pricking the surface really, because that's enough to mat it together. Probably quite a good little exercise this, just making little round and square beads and things, because it's good practice at the basic technique. First injury. Oh, it is sharp, it is sharp. I've just got blood on my top. Oh, poop. Okay, I'm going to have to stop the camera. Go and wash that off. I just knew when I put a white top on something was going to happen. I could of course have used the little finger stools that I showed you just now. It was really nice of her to get me this. I should at least have used it. You see, now I can't feel what I'm doing though. If I was doing a great big piece and really working on it, it wouldn't matter so much, but where I feel like I need to be able to feel what I'm doing, that really hurt though, because it's a barbed needle, so it does do you a bit of damage. Never mind. It takes more than that to keep a determined crafter down. Right, I think that would be extremely mind-numbing viewing if I do much more of that. I'm basically just going to make a whole lot of these and keep working on them until they get firm. But I would quite like to try adding a bit of a different colour, so I'm going to do that in a minute, or maybe I'll use a bit of this, and then I might try just rolling one in the soapy water to see what that does, just out of interest. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of this. It doesn't take much to just sort of tack it into place with the needle tool. Because I should, out of interest, just try it on the mat thing that they provided, eh? Might even be better for something as tiny as this, who knows? Maybe it is, it's tending to stick less when I pick it up again. Oh, it's so hot. We're having another heat wave here in the UK. I know you shouldn't moan about the weather like that, but you know, I've had enough of it. It's about all or nothing. I wish we could have the nice long days of summer without the heat. I always think I should be better with the heat. It should be in my genes because we've got Southern Indian in our genes and Spanish. You think we'd be kind of programmed to be a bit more used to the heat, but I can't do it. Here's a wisp of yellow, and then I'm going to try just that tiny bit of wet felting as well. Look at that, look, I've got my finger still on there, and which one am I using? The only one. I'm not using this one or this one that got a bit of protection. I'm going for the only one I can feel with. Right, that is obviously way too fluffy as it is, but I think just for trying out the wet felting, I think that's probably about right. Okay. Be interested to see how that dries up. It's quite a cute little bead at the moment. I need to make quite a few more of them though before I got enough to make a necklace with. So I'm gonna let me just come back a minute. I'm gonna spend some time this evening. So what are we now? I need to go and get dinner ready in a minute. I'm going to spend some time this evening making hopefully enough beads to at least make a bracelet. And hopefully having a go at the little mouse as well, and I'll come back in the morning and show you what I've managed to come up with. I don't think it's a difficult thing. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do the kind of detail. I mean, like those cats or, you know, those kind of things where you've got to be really precise. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that or necessarily would want to. But the gnomes were quite easy to do, the ones that I did, because they kind of, you don't have to be precise. They can be kind of wonky and quirky. It just adds to their personality. That's why the gnomes are quite fun. So I just thought I'd stop a minute and show you quickly where I'm at. Believe it or not, it took me about an hour and a half to make these. But I think this will make quite a cute brooch, or I will put it on a little craft bag or something like that. I think given how long this took me to do, I think I'm just going to make kind of individual beads and use them for dangling off of my art journals and things. I like making handmade art journals and things like that, and I'm going to use them for that because it's just going to take me an age to make enough to for a necklace I would want to wear. So yeah, I'm really happy with them, and I will carry on and make it. It's great fun to do, kind of thing you can do while you're listening to a podcast or something like that, so that's great. And I'm just about to start my little mouse, so I found a couple of bits of felt. I think that pink is going to be probably too pink, but when I come to cut the ears and the little hands, I will probably just put a tiny bit, or I'll find like a pale pink and just put over it to kind of, or I might even use a bit of pastel just to blush them a little bit. Let's bring you down a little bit. Whoop. So I've cut a little bit of one of my pipe cleaners, just a really little bit. I'm either going to put my finished mouse in this little bottle top, I might just leave it as a bottle top, or I might decorate it in some way, put some foliage in it or something, or I'm going to put it in this little thimble. It depends on what kind of size it turns out really. So I've just bent the pipe cleaner in half like that. And as shown in that tutorial video, I've pulled out a bit of the wool and I'm just wrapping it round to start off. I'm starting to get the hang of these things a little bit more. These seem to be the fatter needles, and it's definitely better to start off with these. And this one that came with the Kirsty kit seems to be quite fine needles, and it's more for sort of smoothing over the surface, I think, really, once you've got the basic shape right. So these bigger single ones seem to be better just for tacking everything into place before you start really working into it. I can see how this could become really addictive. So that's a little beginning of my mouse body shape. This end will be back in the bottle top or thimble. And I'll just gradually start building up. It's a very, very simple little shape. It really is, but it looks so cute. And then the ears she makes with felt, and she also puts a little bit of pink wool, I think, inside the ears,
to give him a bit of pink, and on the tip of the nose. And then she cuts tiny feet, and I might put a little bit of pink on them as well. I'll see how I go. But yeah, it's a teeny weeny little thing. And because this pipe cleaner that I'm using has already got quite a lot of fluff around it, that's given it quite a lot of body. Okay, so my little mouse was looking more like a ferret than a mouse, so I've wrapped a bit more of the wool around just the head part and bent this down, so I've now got a definite neck, and I'll start working into that, and the ears will go sort of here, and he'll just be coming out of his whatever he ends up in, just his little head poking out and his little paws over here. So yeah, he'll be, I mean, you know, if I end up making a little ferret instead of a mouse, that's fine. It's not coming out as tiny as I was hoping it was going to be. That's partly because of how fluffy my pipe cleaner was. This is going to look almost the size of a real mouse by the time I've finished. Here's my mouse now, looking a bit more like a dolphin than a mouse, but time I got the ears on, and the little paws and a tail, hopefully it will look more like a mouse and less like a dolphin. Right, God, my monkey plaster. So looking a little bit more mouse-like now I've got the ears on. The whole thing is a lot more clumsy and less cute than the one that, oh no, I've forgotten her name. Hang on, I can't see her name there. But anyway, the lady on the wishing shed. Yeah, I think I need a few more practices there. She did make this look a lot easier than it really is. I've been doing this for, how long have I been at this for now? About 3 hours. I thought it'd be a really quick one. Okay, but anyway, I think it'll look quite cute once it will look less like a ferret dolphin and more like a little mouse once it's in there with its tail and whiskers and little eyes and little paws coming out. So yeah, I'm still hopeful that by tomorrow morning I will be able to show you a finished little cute mouse. Come dolphin, come ferret. Okay, I'm about to stop for the night because I think my eyes are gone now, but looking so cute. It's amazing how much cuter it looks now I've got the other bits and bobs. So I still need to sew in the little eyes. I don't want to do that now. I'll do it in the morning. My eyes are too tired now. So I've got to sew the little eyes on and some whiskers. I made the tail, I think the lady on the video did just used a piece of thick thread or something for the tail, but I actually cut a piece of this bright pink felt and then used some of this paler pink felt around it, so I'd get a sort of sense of the sort of skin underneath and like just very thin fur on the tail like they have. And then rather than just cut pieces of felt for the hands, I just got a couple of pieces like sort of, oops, really only that sort of size for each one, folded in half like that, and then just gradually shaped that into the arm, and they just snipped into it to make the little fingers. And then I just applied a bit of this tacky glue and sort of rubbed it in and helped to kind of shape and defuzz those fingers. So there, I can't show them very well on the camera. Yeah, I quite like the look of them. They look quite there we go, that's a bit, they look quite realistic, I think. Look at my manky plaster and glue all over my fingers. So yeah, I just need to make the finish off the face details and then glue it all into its little pot. It's so cute. I've got to decide if I'm just going to have the hands up like that, or glue them down so they're sort of gripping the pot. I like the idea of them being up, actually, they're more alive somehow. So yeah, I'll do that in the morning and I'll show you the finished result. I'm having a lovely time with this. It's taken a lot longer than I thought, but I'm enjoying it. Well, I managed to lose my audio on this bit, but here I am showing you my finished little cute mouse. I love him. It does look a bit odd, you know, at the moment, but once you see him
once you see him in the bottle top, he's quite cute. I've used little black beads, they're little black glass beads to make the eyes, and just a beading thread, just a slightly thicker thread than usual to make the whiskers. And then I've glued all the bits and bobs in with a strong glue. I toyed around with the idea of using some of that packaging to make it look like he's been nesting in there, but in the end I just decided it didn't really need it. So here's my finished little moose. I love him. That is so cute. I want to have another go now. Maybe make little mice in all kinds of tiny things, matchboxes, thimbles. Yeah. Oh, here I'm just giving another look at how that felted flower turned out. So I did wet felt a little bit, and then I went back in again once the wet felt bit had dried and added some more colour, and so it's now all a bit more, it's got a bit more body to it, and yeah, just the colours look more interesting. I could put a brooch back on, and I'd probably wear that, or I would just clip it on a bag or something. And here I am looking very pleased with myself. I'm giving you one last little look. I haven't given him a name yet, and now I'm just saying I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think about the idea of doing these internet inspiration videos, and hope that you enjoyed watching, and thank you very much, and bye bye.